This is the Kitchen Sink WP podcast, episode 455.
I program my home computer.
We have a server crash, 404 error, page not found, links aren't working, system is crashing, system is crashing, system is crashing.
Your old HTML website, barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website, better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster. We have the technology. The technology.
Why, hello everybody, this is Adam Silver, the host of the Kitchen Sink WP podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, upcoming events. We have one next weekend. WordCamp Griñón for e-commerce. It's in Madrid, November 18th and 19th. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, it does say here e-commerce marketing and networking is what it says there on the website. So if you are there, I don't even know where that is exactly in Griñón. Oh, it's Madrid. It says Madrid. I guess it's a town within Madrid. I've been there, but never heard of the other actual small town. Anyway, check that out if you're there. If you want to go for some e-commerce education in the WordPress space, that'd be cool. All right, moving on. Segment one in the news. Two things to talk about here. The first one is there was a call put out a few months ago, I believe. Let's see, when was this? This was back in, I forget when it was, actually. It doesn't say here. About changing the name of the FSE, the full site editor, to something easier, nicer, more friendly, if you will. And that has happened. That is going to happen. So the full site editor, FSE as we called it, is now just going to be known as the site editor. And oh, here it is. I do have a link here. And the link was written, this article was written, if I'm not mistaken, by Josefa. Back on November 4th. So back in July is when there was a discussion about this. And now it is going to happen. So now they're just going to call it the site editor instead of full site editing, I believe is what they're going to go with now. So that's kind of interesting. Also in the news, something else in regards to WordPress core is that the default site tagline, if you recall seeing that just another WordPress site, is now going to go away as far as the default text in that field. It's a 15-year-old ticket that was created by, I think it was Mark Jakewith. Now it's going to be an empty string field, only indicating where you can go change or add text, not change, but add text to that field as far as the site tagline. It will no longer say just another WordPress website. So that's cool. Just thought you might want to know that, kind of newsworthy. There you go. Okay, so that in the news, yeah, that is it. Pretty light news week. Moving on to segment two, the meat potatoes of this week's episode. It has been another 8 weeks, so that means it's time for listener Q&A. And I have three or four questions here. 3 questions, I believe, here. I'm going to read them off to you, and then we'll answer them. So first one was sent in, actually not named on any of these for some reason. Do I have a name? I think I have a name on the second one. Yes, I do. Okay, first one here. Should I send my clients holiday gifts? And for that matter, how about employees or contractors? So I'm not sure who sent this in, but that is a great question as we are coming to the holidays. And my answer is maybe. It's a tough one. Now, it depends. I guess it depends, yes, but maybe. I mean, I looked into this and wanted to see what some other experts in the business world thoughts and asked some colleagues. It's a maybe. I mean, I've never done it, honestly. In some clients in the past, if I hire someone, or I guess have I ever gotten anything? I don't think I have either. Or maybe I've gotten a gift basket from time to time, but it's been a long time since I can recall. Yeah, and there's pros and cons here. You'll stand out from the crowd. You'll kind of segment yourself from other vendors for your clients. You can show appreciation. But then it begs the question, like secondary questions really, that I kind of found out. What kind of gifts should you send? Some people say never send alcohol. Some people say never send food. Some people say do gourmet chocolate or nice Christmas cookies or holiday cookies, whatever you want to call them. A branded mug could be good. But branded for who is my question on that? Like my company, Concierge WP, or Kitchen Sink WP for that matter, or their brand? You have it designed for them. I don't know. And then how much do you spend? And that actually begs the question, not a question, but just the concept and the concern of tax implications, because sometimes some companies have to disclose if they got gifts. Or if you're even going to send a gift, how much can you write off on your own taxes? And what I saw was up to $25. Some people said $50. So I didn't dig too deep, but you have to make sure that you don't go spend $1,000 to send a gift to a client, and try to write that off as a gift giving thing. So there's that. And then, of course, secondarily, the second question, part of the question was employees and contractors. Again, maybe, and I would say maybe lean a little bit more towards yes. A bonus could always be nice if that's kind of in your purview. If you have a big enough company that you can do bonuses, of course, that's a gift for the holidays. I don't know what else you could do. I mean, I guess same thing, food, chocolate, alcohol's tough. I don't know if I recommend that. Coffee, tea basket, maybe a gift card. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it that way. I would actually lean more towards yes for employees and contractors, something that you may know that they're interested in, or books, or like a gift card would be kind of cool. So it's a great question. And actually in the next couple of weeks, I'm putting together some ideas to give gift giving ideas for your geeky friends, as I do every year. So something maybe new this year. I'll probably do that in the next couple of weeks, I think, on this episode, on this podcast itself, like I've done in the past. So, all right, moving on. Question number 2. This one was sent in by Kyle. Hey, Kyle. Do I have a favorite WordPress release? Well, interesting question, yet slightly odd. But yes, actually I do. And that would be WordPress 4.3. And the reason being is that my friend Konstantin Oberland was the lead on that, the lead, not developer, the lead organizer, lead, I'm not sure what they call it, the release lead, I guess, on that. And from that, I learned a lot from that release. I found a bug. That's what it was. I remember I found a bug at a meetup, and I was so excited that I actually opened up a track ticket. It was low-hanging fruit, and I was, quote, this close to getting the patch in time to get props. I've always wanted to get props, but someone beat me to the punch. Sadly, I missed it by about 10 minutes, and I did have help, actually, from my friend Dustin and Kyle. We were kind of racing together to help me try to get the props, but it didn't come out so favorably for me. But that would be my favorite release because I found a bug, and I really wanted to get the props, though I didn't get it. I'm not bitter much. Anyway, but there you go. Yeah, 4.3. And actually, if I had to think of a different one, I don't know what version it was off the top of my head. I have to look it up again. But the other one I liked a lot was when we had the ability to switch from just being a blogging only methodology to where you could have a secondary page be the homepage, not the blog itself. That kind of thing was kind of cool. It was way before that. I think it was like 3.1, 3.2 maybe. Anyway, so there you go. All right, third question here. Here's one sent in by, I'm not sure who this is by. Do I have a name on this one? Erica, yes. Okay, here we go. Erica asks, how often should you change your hosting? The reason of my question is my hosting company just emailed me, indicated that the price of hosting is going up by about 40%. Should I stay or should I go? I have 3 months to decide. Well, this is a fantastic question based on time frame-wise because I just renewed my current contract with my main host. And I say my main host because I do have 2 different hosting companies I use, both of which I pay for. And I indicate that because I used to have a bunch of free hosting given to me based on just friendships and whatnot, but that's all ended. Primarily, one of those servers that I used to use a couple years ago got hacked badly at the root level, and though they did help me out to some extent, they can only do so much because I wasn't paying. So I had to make the decision to finally leave, get my own hosting, pay for it, have that, and it's secure, it's solid, and I do have 2 different hosting companies, one for my dev server, one for my live server. Just to keep them separate. And when the dev server also uses some live sites, but they're low bandwidth needs and really kind of inconsequential from that perspective. So very basic stuff there. So in answer to your question, it goes back to that whole new customers get the better deal. The renewals don't. Same thing with cell phone plans or cable internet access, that kind of thing. But do you see value in what you're paying for right now? And are you going to see that same value if it goes up by 40%? Are they giving you any more features or functionality? If not, you have 75, you said how many days? You have 3 months, so 90 days to migrate. And so if you don't see any more value, if you're just paying more money for the same thing, then maybe it's time to look somewhere else. That'll help make your decision for you. And if you do move, how much time and effort is that going to take you to do, honestly? I mean, if you have 5 or 10 sites, not a big deal. And will that new company, that new host, maybe they might do the migration for you as a feature set. I would recommend looking at that, honestly, and that's what I did. One of the things I did was exactly that. So if you want more information about that, send me a message. I can tell you who I'm going with, give you my link. Maybe I get an affiliate relationship there. It's great. But it's also time now to maybe review your current clients and see if they're due for a price increase, which we just did, and that's going to happen in January. I made calls to all of them, told them what's going on. It's been almost 4 years for some of them. They were all expecting it, and nobody balked at all, and that's fine. But same thing, if you're going to raise prices, what extra value do they get? I mean, besides your pricing going up, which is a valid reason to raise prices, you want to make sure that you give them value as well, kind of pass that down to some extent. But yeah, 3 months, 90 days, plenty of time to make that decision. You just got to figure out, is it worth the effort that you need to do versus the money and the time? If you're not happy with where you're at now, I would definitely move. I really would. So yeah, there you go. Okay, I think that's the last question I had. Yeah, that's it. Just 3 this week. You're welcome to send some in next time if you have any of them out there yourself. Okay, moving on. Segment 3, tip and tool of the week. This one is a site service that I just found out about called StashPad, StashPad.com. There's a free level right now, and it's pretty cool. It is a kind of like a notepad on steroids for developers. Pretty cool. Check it out. It's over at StashPad.com. I have no connection to them whatsoever. I heard about them over on the Stack Overflow podcast. The creator of it was there. And actually, they're based here in Durham, North Carolina, which is also very cool. So check them out, StashPad.com. All right, that is it for this week. If you have any questions, by all means, go ahead and send it in via email, adam@KitchensinkWP.com, or use that SpeakPipe function on the website. You can support the show, become a Patreon. You can sponsor the show. There's a form on the website. That'd be awesome. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Now go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right, bye-bye.